Imagine living in a house so big you could fit an entire neighborhood inside it. Sounds crazy, right? But for a select few billionaires, that's just another day in their life. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the most outrageously oversized mansions you've ever seen. From private movie theaters to indoor pools that could rival a water park, these homes redefine what it means to live large. Get ready to have your mind blown. For the ultra-wealthy, a mansion isn't just a place to lay your head at night. No, it's a symbol of power, prestige, and of course a whole lot of cash. I mean, why settle for a measly guest room when you can have an entire wing dedicated to your in-laws, am I right? But these mansions we're about to explore, they take things to a whole new level. We're talking architectural marvels that push the boundaries of what's possible. Homes so big you might need a GPS just to find your way to the kitchen. So, what do you say? Are you ready to take a peek inside the top 10 biggest mansions in the world? We'll be counting down from the smallest to the absolute behemoth of them all. Trust me, your jaw will be on the floor by the end of this. Let's go. 10. Mesa Vista Ranch. Kicking off our top 10 list is a Texas-sized mansion that's practically a city unto itself. Located in the heart of the Lone Star State, Mesa Vista Ranch clocks in at a whopping 33,000 square feet. And who was the proud owner of this behemoth? None other than the late, great T. Boone Pickens, a legendary oil tycoon and billionaire businessman. Now, when you've got that kind of dough, you don't just settle for a few extra bedrooms and a game room. Oh no, Mesa Vista Ranch takes luxury living to a whole new level. For starters, the dining room can comfortably seat 40 people. That's right, 40. I don't know about you, but I'm lucky if I can fit 10 people around my dining table without someone ending up with an elbow in their ribs. But the lavishness doesn't stop there. The ranch also boasts its very own home theater, perfect for those nights when you just want to kick back with a bucket of popcorn and watch your favorite flick on the big screen. And if you're feeling a little parched after all that movie watching, no worries. Mesa Vista Ranch has its own pub, complete with a fully stocked bar and plenty of room for all your friends. But perhaps the most jaw-dropping feature of this Texas Titan is the private airport runway. Yes, you read that right. Mesa Vista Ranch has its own airport, complete with a 6,000-foot runway and an 11,500 square foot hangar. I mean, why bother with the hassle of commercial flights when you can just hop on your private jet and be anywhere in the world in a matter of hours? Of course, all this luxury comes at a price. Mesa Vista Ranch was recently listed for a cool $250 million, making it one of the most expensive properties in the country. But hey, when you've got your own private lake, horse stables, and artificial waterfall, who's counting pennies? Before we move on, let's talk a little bit about the man behind the mansion. T. Boone Pickens was a larger-than-life figure, known for his shrewd business acumen and his philanthropy. He made his fortune in the oil and gas industry, but he was also a major proponent of renewable energy and donated millions to charitable causes throughout his lifetime. So there you have it, folks. Mesa Vista Ranch, a sprawling over-the-top mansion that's the stuff of billionaire dreams. It's got everything you could ever want in a home, and then some. But as impressive as it is, it's only the beginning of our countdown. Trust me, the mansions only get bigger and more extravagant from here. But before we move on to the next jaw-dropping estate on our list, let me ask you this. What would you do with 33,000 square feet of space? Would you host epic parties that would put Jay Gatsby to shame? Or would you just get lost in your own home, wandering aimlessly from room to room? I know I'd probably do a little bit of both. Speaking of getting lost, our next mansion is so big you might need a map just to find your way around. Located in one of the most exclusive zip codes in the country, this 62,000 square foot behemoth is the stuff of real estate legends. 9. Fairfield Pond. But hold on to your hats, folks, because we're just getting started. Next up on our list of palatial pads is Fairfield Pond, a jaw-dropping estate nestled in the posh playground of the rich and famous, the Hamptons. Now I know what you're thinking. The Hamptons? Isn't that where all the fancy schmancy New Yorkers go to escape the city in the summer? Well, you're not wrong, but Fairfield Pond takes Hamptons living to a whole new level. For starters, this place is massive, like 62,000 square feet massive. That's bigger than your average mall, folks. And with 29 bedrooms and 39 bathrooms, you could invite your entire extended family over for a sleepover and still have room to spare. But Fairfield Pond isn't just about size. Oh no. This place is packed to the gills with every luxury amenity you can imagine. Want to catch a flick? No problem. Just head over to one of the 2 home theaters. Feeling a little competitive? Challenge your pals to a game of bowling at one of the estate's 2 bowling alleys. And if you're looking to break a sweat, you can always hit up the squash court or the indoor basketball court. Of course, all this opulence comes with a hefty price tag. Fairfield Pond is currently valued at a staggering $248 million, making it one of the most expensive homes in the country. But hey, when you're a billionaire like Ira Rennert, the industrialist who built this behemoth back in the early 2000s, that's just pocket change. So what's the story behind this over-the-top estate? Well, as you might expect, Fairfield Pond has been the subject of some controversy over the years. When Rennert first started construction on the property, his neighbors were less than thrilled about the idea of a gigantic mansion going up in their backyard. There were lawsuits, protests, and all sorts of drama. But in the end, Rennert prevailed and Fairfield Pond was born. Since then, the estate has played host to all sorts of lavish parties and events. In fact, it's rumored that Rennert once threw a birthday bash for his wife that featured performances by Beyoncé and Billy Joel. Talk about a star-studded guest list. But despite all the glitz and glamour, Fairfield Pond isn't without its quirks. For example, the estate reportedly has a whopping $40,000 worth of imported Italian marble in the bathrooms alone. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure I could live comfortably off that kind of cash for a year or 2. And then there's the matter of the property's massive size. Can you imagine trying to find your way around a 62,000 square foot house? You'd need a GPS just to locate the kitchen, and don't even get me started on the heating and cooling bills. I bet Rennert has a whole team of people just to keep the place at a comfortable temperature. But hey, when you're a billionaire, you can afford a little excess, right? And Fairfield Pond certainly delivers on that front. From the lavish furnishings to the sprawling grounds, this place is the ultimate symbol of wealth and extravagance. 8. Villa Leopolda. But if you thought Fairfield Pond was the epitome of luxury, just wait until you get a load of our next stop on the Billionaire House Tour. This place is so opulent, so over the top, it makes Fairfield look like a humble little cottage. We're talking about none other than Villa Leopolda, a sprawling estate nestled on the glitzy French Riviera. This place has got history, folks. It was originally built way back in 1902 for none other than King Leopold II of Belgium. Yep, you heard that right. A king used to kick back and relax in this very mansion. Of course, a lot has changed since then. The villa has passed through the hands of some seriously wealthy owners over the years, each one adding their own touch of lavishness to the already extravagant estate. But one thing has remained constant: the sheer size of this place. At a whopping 80,000 square feet, Villa Leopolda is bigger than most hotels, and with 19 bedroom suites, you could comfortably house a small army in this place. But it's not just about the size. Oh no, this mansion is all about the grandeur. Step inside and you'll be greeted by soaring ceilings, glittering chandeliers, and enough marble to make a Greek god jealous. The ballrooms alone are bigger than most people's entire homes, with intricate frescoes and gold leaf detailing that'll make your head spin. And let's talk about the amenities. Villa Leopolda has got it all. Want to catch a flick? Head on over to the private cinema. Need to burn off some of those caviar calories? Take a dip in one of the estate's many pools, or hit up the fully equipped gym. And if you're feeling a little parched after all that lounging around, just pop into one of the villa's numerous bars and pour yourself a refreshing cocktail. But perhaps the most impressive thing about Villa Leopolda is its star-studded history. Over the years, this place has played host to some of the most famous names in the world. From Hollywood royalty to actual royalty, everyone who's anyone has partied within these walls. In fact, Villa Leopolda was even used as a military hospital during World War I. Can you imagine recovering from your wounds while gazing out at the sparkling Mediterranean Sea? Talk about a silver lining. But despite its storied past, Villa Leopolda has had its fair share of drama in recent years. Back in 2008, a Russian billionaire by the name of Mikhail Prokhorov tried to buy the estate for a staggering 500 million euros. That's right, $500 million for a single house. The sale ended up falling through, but it just goes to show the kind of money we're talking about when it comes to these mega mansions. For the uber-wealthy, Dropping a few $100 million on a vacation home is just another day at the office. 7. Le Palais Royal. If you thought Villa Leopolda was the pinnacle of extravagance, just wait until you feast your eyes on our next mega mansion. This place is so over the top it makes Versailles look like a quaint little cottage. Welcome to Le Palais Royal, a jaw-dropping estate that's fit for, well, royalty. Located in the sunny city of Windermere, Florida, this place is a modern-day palace in every sense of the word. First off, let's talk about the size of this behemoth. At a whopping 90,000 square feet, Le Palais Royal is bigger than most hotels. Heck, it's practically a small town. You could wander around this place for days and still not see every nook and cranny. But it's not just about the square footage. Oh no, the design of this mansion is something straight out of a fairy tale. The owners, a couple by the name of Jackie and David Siegel, took their inspiration from none other than the Palace of Versailles itself. And boy does it show. From the grand ballrooms to the ornate chandeliers, every inch of Le Palais Royal oozes opulence. The ceilings soar to dizzying heights, the marble floors glisten like mirrors, and the gold leaf detailing is so shiny you might need sunglasses just to look at it. Of course, no modern-day palace would be complete without a few high-tech amenities, and Le Palais Royal doesn't disappoint. Want to catch a flick? No problem, just head on over to the mansion's very own IMAX theater. Yes, you read that right, an IMAX theater right in the comfort of your own home. But that's not all. This place has got everything from a bowling alley to a roller rink to a full-on arcade. It's like Chuck E. Cheese's on steroids. And if you're looking to break a sweat, you can always hit up the fitness center or take a dip in one of the estate's many pools. Now, you might be wondering, who in the world needs a house this big? Well, the Siegels are no ordinary couple. David Siegel is the founder of Westgate Resorts, one of the biggest timeshare companies in the world, and Jackie, she's a former beauty queen turned socialite extraordinaire. Together they set out to build the biggest, most extravagant mansion in all of America, and boy did they succeed. The construction of Le Palais Royal has been a years-long process, with countless delays and setbacks along the way. In fact, the mansion was even the subject of a documentary called The Queen of Versailles, which chronicled the Siegels' lavish lifestyle and the trials and tribulations of building their dream home. But despite all the drama, Le Palais Royal is finally nearing completion, and when it's finished, it'll be a sight to behold. With 11 kitchens, 30 bathrooms, and a 20-car garage, this place is the ultimate in excess. So what's the price tag on a mansion like this? Well, the Siegels have sunk over $100 million into the project so far, and that's not even including the furniture and decor. But hey, when you're a billionaire, what's a few million here and there? Of course, not everyone is thrilled about the idea of a 90,000 square foot mansion plopped down in the middle of a quiet Florida suburb. Some neighbors have complained about the constant construction noise and the armies of workers traipsing through their backyards. But love it or hate it, there's no denying that Le Palais Royal is a one-of-a-kind mansion. It's a testament to the Siegels' unabashed love of luxury and their unwavering commitment to living life king-sized. And speaking of king-sized, our next mansion is so massive, it makes Le Palais Royal look like a dollhouse. 6. Witanhurst. Oh boy, just when you thought we'd reached the pinnacle of extravagance with Le Palais Royal, along comes a mansion so mysterious, so steeped in secrecy, it's got us all scratching our heads. Welcome to Witanhurst, a Georgian revival masterpiece nestled in the heart of London. Now, I know what you're thinking. London? Isn't that where the Queen lives? Well, yes, but Witanhurst is so big, it practically gives Buckingham Palace a run for its money. At a whopping 90,000 square feet, this place is the second largest private residence in all of London. And let me tell you, it's got a history that's as juicy as any Hollywood blockbuster. The mansion was originally built way back in 1913 for Sir Arthur Crossfield, a soap magnate with a serious taste for luxury. He decked the place out with all the latest gadgets of the time, from electric elevators to a state-of-the-art heating system. But that was just the beginning. Over the years, Witanhurst has passed through the hands of some seriously wealthy owners, each one adding their own touch of opulence to the already lavish estate. But it wasn't until 2008 that things got really interesting. That's when a mysterious shell company swooped in and snatched up the mansion for a cool £50 million. And what did they do with it? They turned it into the ultimate billionaire's playground, of course. We're talking about a massive basement excavation, a luxurious swimming pool and spa, and even a private cinema that would make any Hollywood director green with envy. But here's the kicker, nobody knows who the heck these people are. The shell company that bought Witanhurst is registered in the British Virgin Islands, a notorious tax haven known for its secrecy, and despite countless attempts by nosy journalists and curious neighbors to uncover the truth, the identity of the mansion's mysterious occupants remains a closely guarded secret. Some say it could be Russian oligarchs looking for a place to stash their cash. Others think it might be a Middle Eastern royal family in need of a lavish vacation home. But whoever they are, one thing's for sure, they've got more money than most of us will ever see in a lifetime. The renovation alone is estimated to have cost upwards of £100 million, making it one of the most expensive home improvement projects in British history. And can you blame them? With 25 bedrooms, a massive ballroom, and sprawling gardens that would make any green thumb swoon, Witanhurst is the ultimate in luxury living. But all that opulence comes at a price. The mansion is estimated to be worth a staggering £450 million, making it one of the most valuable properties in all of London. And with a team of full-time staff and round-the-clock security, it's safe to say that the owners are sparing no expense when it comes to living large. 5. The One. Alright folks, brace yourselves, because we're about to step into a world of luxury so lavish, it's gonna make your head spin. Welcome to The One, a mega mansion nestled in the hills of Bel Air, Los Angeles. Now, I know we've seen some pretty extravagant homes on this list already, but trust me when I say, this place takes the cake. At a jaw-dropping 105,000 square feet, it's bigger than most shopping malls. Heck, it's practically a small city. But size isn't everything, of course. What really sets The One apart is its absolutely bonkers list of amenities. We're talking multiple pools, a spa, a beauty salon, a gym, and oh yeah, did I mention it has its own frickin' nightclub? That's right, you can party the night away without ever leaving your own house. Talk about convenience. But let's back up a second. Who exactly is behind this insane feat of architecture? Well, that would be none other than real estate developer Niall Niami. This guy's got a reputation for building some of the most over-the-top homes in LA, and The One is his magnum opus. He originally put the place on the market for a cool $500 million, making it the most expensive home in the US. But as you can imagine, finding a buyer willing to drop $500 million on a single house isn't exactly easy. So after years of construction delays and financial setbacks, Niami was forced to put the property into bankruptcy. But don't worry, the story has a happy ending. In 2022, The One was finally sold at auction for a still pretty darn impressive $141 million to fashion mogul Richard Sagian. And let me tell you, he got quite the deal. I mean, just feast your eyes on this place. The interior is dripping with luxury, from the custom-made furniture to the Italian marble. There are 42 bathrooms, 21 bedrooms, and a 500 square foot master suite. Oh, and did I mention the 30-car garage? Because why have just 1 or 2 cars when you can have 30, right? But as incredible as The One is, it's not without its controversies. Some have criticized the mansion as a symbol of excess and inequality, arguing that no one needs a house this big and expensive. And to be fair, they've got a point. I mean, who really needs a moat? Yes, you heard me right, a moat. But hey, when you're a billionaire, I guess you can pretty much do whatever you want. And if that means building a house with its own nightclub and enough bathrooms to accommodate a small army, then so be it. Now, as much as I'd love to keep gushing about The One, we've got to move on to our next mansion. 4. Fairfield. Folks, just when you thought we'd seen it all, along comes a mansion so ridiculously over the top, it's hard to believe it's even real. Say hello to Fairfield, a behemoth of a home that takes extravagance to a whole new level. Located in the Tony enclave of Sagaponack, New York, this place is the ultimate billionaire's playground. And when I say billionaire, I mean it quite literally. The man behind Fairfield is none other than Ira Rennert, a controversial industrialist with a net worth that'll make your head spin. But enough about him, let's talk about the house. Or should I say the compound? Because at 110,000 square feet, Fairfield is more like a small village than a single family home. It's got 29 bedrooms, 39 bathrooms, and more amenities than most 5-star resorts. Want to catch a flick? No problem, just head on over to the 164-seat screening room. Yes, you read that right, 164 seats. That's bigger than most actual movie theaters, and if you're feeling a bit more active, you can always hit up one of the 2 bowling alleys, the squash court or the basketball court. But let's be real, with a house this size, you're probably not going to be spending too much time indoors. That's why Fairfield also boasts some seriously impressive outdoor spaces. We're talking manicured gardens, sprawling terraces, and not 1 but 3 swimming pools. Because why have just 1 pool when you can have 3, right? Of course, all this luxury comes at a price. And in the case of Fairfield, that price is a whopping $248 million. That's right, folks, $248 million for a house. But hey, when you're a billionaire industrialist, I guess that's just pocket change. Now I know what you're thinking. Who the heck needs a house this big? And to be honest, I'm not sure anyone really does. But that's the thing about the ultra-wealthy. They don't just buy houses, they buy status symbols, and Fairfield is the ultimate status symbol. It's a place where you can entertain dozens of guests at once, where you can get lost in your own home, and where you can feel like the king or queen of your own private kingdom. And when you're a billionaire, that's apparently worth $250 million. But as impressive as Fairfield is, it's not even the biggest house on our list. Nope, that honor goes to a place so mind-bogglingly huge, it's hard to wrap your head around. 3. Biltmore Estate. We've seen some pretty impressive mansions on this list so far, but this next one, it's in a league of its own. Let me introduce you to the Biltmore Estate, a place so grand, so steeped in history, it's practically a national treasure. Located in the lush green hills of Asheville, North Carolina, this bad boy clocks in at a jaw-dropping 178,926 square feet. Yep, you heard that right. That's almost 180,000 square feet of pure, unadulterated luxury. To put that in perspective, that's bigger than the White House and the Hearst Castle * combined *. Crazy, right? But the Biltmore Estate isn't just big for the sake of being big. No, this place has some serious historical chops. It was built way back in 1895 by none other than George Washington Vanderbilt II, the grandson of legendary industrialist Cornelius Vanderbilt. And let me tell you, he spared no expense. The house itself is a masterpiece of Gilded Age architecture, with soaring ceilings, intricate carvings, and more marble than you can shake a stick at. It's got 250 rooms, including 35 bedrooms, 43 bathrooms, and a banquet hall that can seat up to 64 guests. Because when you're a Vanderbilt, you never know when you might need to throw a last-minute gala, right? But the real star of the show at Biltmore is the grounds. The estate sits on a sprawling 8,000 acres of land, complete with lush gardens, winding hiking trails, and even a winery. Yes, you read that right, a winery. Because what's a mansion without its own private vineyard? The gardens alone are worth the price of admission. Designed by renowned landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted, the same guy who did Central Park, they're a horticultural wonderland, with everything from rose gardens to tulip fields to a conservatory filled with exotic plants from around the world. And the best part, you can actually visit the Biltmore Estate. Unlike some of the other mansions on this list, which are strictly off-limits to US mere mortals, the Biltmore is open to the public. For a not-so-modest fee, you can tour the house, stroll the gardens, and even stay overnight in one of the estate's swanky hotels. But before you start packing your bags, there's one more thing you should know about the Biltmore Estate. It's not just a pretty face. This place has some serious historical significance. During World War II, the house was used as a secret storage facility for priceless works of art from the National Gallery in Washington, D.C. That's right, while the rest of the world was busy fighting Nazis, the Biltmore was playing host to masterpieces by the likes of Rembrandt and Raphael. Talk about a high-class hideout. 2. Antilia. Just when you thought we'd seen it all, along comes a mansion so mind-bogglingly huge, it almost defies belief. Say hello to Antilia, a skyscraper in Mumbai that takes luxury living to dizzying new heights. Now I know what you're thinking. A skyscraper? That's not a mansion. And you're right, technically speaking, but trust me, once you see this place, you'll understand why it made our list. Antilia is the brainchild of Mukesh Ambani, a business tycoon and the richest man in India. And let me tell you, he didn't hold back when it came to building his dream home. This place clocks in at a staggering 400,000 square feet, spread out over 27 stories of pure, unadulterated luxury. To put that in perspective, that's bigger than some hotels. Heck, it's bigger than most office buildings. And the craziest part, it's a private residence. Yep, you read that right. This is where the Ambani family hangs their hats at the end of the day. But Antilia isn't just big for the sake of being big. No, this place is packed to the gills with amenities that would make even the most jaded billionaire blush. We're talking multiple swimming pools, a health spa, a yoga studio, and even a private movie theater. Because why leave the house when you can have everything you need right at your fingertips? And let's talk about the design. Antilia is a marvel of modern architecture with a sleek, futuristic look that's straight out of a sci-fi movie. But it's not just about aesthetics. This place is also incredibly energy efficient with advanced systems for water and waste management, as well as a massive rooftop garden that helps regulate the building's temperature. Of course, as you can imagine, a home like this doesn't come cheap. Antilia reportedly cost a whopping $1 billion to build, making it one of the most expensive private residences in the world. But hey, when you're a billionaire, what's a few zeros between friends? Naturally, Antilia has its fair share of critics. Some have called it a symbol of excess and inequality, a stark reminder of the gap between the haves and the have-nots in India. And to be fair, they've got a point. In a city where millions of people live in slums, a billion-dollar skyscraper home is bound to raise some eyebrows. But love it or hate it, there's no denying that Antilia is a feat of engineering and design. It's a testament to what's possible when you've got limitless resources and an unshakable vision. And let's be real, who among us hasn't dreamed of living in a place like this, even just for a day? So there you have it, folks. Antilia, a mansion so big, so luxurious, so over the top, it's practically a city unto itself. And the best part, it's not even the biggest home on our list. No, that honor goes to a place that puts all other mansions to shame, a place that's as opulent as it is important, a place that may shock you with its colossal scale. 1. Istana Nurul Iman Palace. All right, hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to explore a place so ridiculously huge, it'll make all those other mansions look like dollhouses. Say hello to the Istana Nurul Iman Palace, the biggest residential palace in the world. Located in the tiny nation of Brunei, this palatial pad clocks in at a mind-boggling 2.15 million square feet. Yes, you read that right. Million. That's like taking all those other mansions, stacking them on top of each other, and then adding a few more for good measure. But the Istana Nurul Iman Palace isn't just big for the sake of being big. No, this place serves a very important purpose. You see, it's not just a home, it's also the seat of the Brunei government. That's right, the Sultan of Brunei, Hassan al-Bolkiah, doesn't just live here, he runs the whole dang country from within these walls. As you can imagine, a palace of this size is packed to the gills with every luxury amenity you could dream of. We're talking 5 swimming pools, a mosque that can accommodate 1,500 worshippers, a banquet hall that can seat up to 5,000 guests, and a stable with air-conditioned stalls for the Sultan's 200 polo ponies. Because why not? Of course, all that luxury doesn't come cheap. The Istana Nurul Iman Palace reportedly cost a staggering $1.4 billion to build back in the 1980s. But hey, when you're the Sultan of Brunei, money is no object, right? But the palace isn't just a symbol of wealth and power, it's also an architectural marvel, blending traditional Malay and Islamic design elements with all the modern conveniences you could want. The result is a magnificent achievement in architecture, a true symbol of status and opulence. Still, the sheer size of this place is almost impossible to wrap your head around. I mean, just think about it. If you were to spend just 1 minute in each room of the palace, it would take you over 4 years to see the whole thing. Now that's what I call a big house. So, now that we've seen the biggest of the big, the cream of the crop, the mansions to end all mansions, you might be wondering, what sets these places apart? What is it about these massive, sprawling estates that make them so special? Well, as you can imagine, it's not just about the size, though that certainly doesn't hurt. No, there's something more at play here, something that elevates these mansions from mere houses to true works of art. something that speaks to the incredible ingenuity of architecture and the never-ending human pursuit of luxury.